Alrighty, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. It is Friday. We're closing out the week, and honestly, guys, this week has gone pretty expected, pretty according to the plan that we had here on the channel, the likely path that we have outlined in the last weekly report. All right, we'll have a new one that comes out either tomorrow or Sunday, likely tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Before we get into the technical analysis, just know that I am asking if you guys are getting any value out of this, if these videos are helping you in any way, shape, or form, literally any way, shape, or form. If you're enjoying them, if I'm entertaining you, please leave a like down below and boost the channel. That being said, let's get into the video. All right, so we're starting off with Mr. VIX over here on the weekly time frame because it is Friday and we are closing out the week. We can look at these bad boys on the weekly time frame as well. All right, we're going to start off here, and that is giving me a little insight into what's going on next week. So we do have a bearish engulfing candlestick to finish out the week here, and then I'm going to point out you had this bearish engulfing candlestick, you had this bearish engulfing candlestick, you had this bearish engulfing candlestick. The last three bearish engulfing candlesticks did lead to another week of lows, all right, which suggests we could have, you know, another week of VIX going down and another week of these going up, which that aligns perfectly with what we are going to be discussing here in this video, along with what we've discussed this whole week and in the weekly report. All right. But yeah, all right. So that is the first thing right there. We're going to take these off, and then we're going to go over to SPX's weekly time frame, and you can see we are getting the stochastic beginning to cross up. Okay, so we can actually just go over here. So it's not crossed up yet. All right, let's see if we got QQQs doing a thing over here. QQQs is crossing up on the week, and you do have that bottoming tail stepping in. I told you yesterday that I expected we would probably be getting a hammer candlestick, all right, going into the end of the week, and that is exactly what we got going on. We are approaching these targets, and guys, I'm going to do one little plug right here. All right, guys, if you are someone who is struggling with trades, okay, you just don't know what to do, all right? If you want just, like, literally just consistent trade ideas that are consistent high probability trade ideas, Patreon, okay? Just join the Patreon, $39.99 a month. It is already guaranteed. It's already paid for itself. We have 6 plays on the radar right now. I think we have 4 open plays, and holy crap, guys. No, everything, like, when I say it's paid for itself, you can, like, if anybody else is in there and you want to, feel free to comment, all right? Let the people know. Feel free, because it's quite amazing, all right? We already have had a almost 150% runner on the indices here. All right, on top of that, we've had, a 30 to 50% runner, and then we have 2 other potential runners up and going right now that are showing proof of concept today, and one is going absolutely insane, and it is up 40%. All right, so that was something we called out not too long ago. All right, so literally, just if you are someone who's struggling to consistently come up with your own trade ideas, or we'll say trades, all right, and you want to have unlimited, consistent, high probability trade ideas along with their trade setups, trade plans, and risk management, there you go. Patreon, link down in the description. I guarantee it pays for itself, like it already did. All right. So I'm just going to say that. All right. With that being said, let's get back into it. All right. So we went over that. Let's go over QQQ. Let's see what's going on over there. We have the same thing going on over there. Buyers are stepping in. All right. We told you guys we had this wick over here, and we come over the daily time frame. Told you guys we had this congestion area down here, and we had this downtrend going on SPY that did end up breaking out. We'll discuss the lower time frames in a sec here, but let's continue with the daily time frames. We do have lower buy volume. Wait, hang on. It's 11:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have just forgotten I'm recording this video so early. I'm not gonna have time to do so later, so I'm doing so now. All right. Also, this, I think the earlier videos, if I don't think much is going to change going into the end of the day, then there's no harm done by, putting these out. And the people who are not in the Patreon literally get to, you get to know what the likely scenario is, where the likely path is on the indices here. All right, going into the weekend. So you can, just have the information that I have at my fingertips at your fingertips, and you can make your own educated decision off of that. That is the purpose of the channel. All right, we're just trying to make sense. I started saying it yesterday. I'm gonna keep saying this, guys. All right, we're bringing an order to the chaos. There is an order to the chaos. That is what we have here on the channel. Okay, if you're getting frustrated with the market, There's no like, hey, we'll let you know where the market is always likely headed. Like, and I'm not going to say everything's spot on, all right, but I'm going to say, like, I really would give it a 60 to 80% accuracy here on the channel. It's been pretty spot on, all right? Obviously, sometimes they're just like, hey, some things go down, but that's the point of being a trader. You got to flip, all right? But for the most part, I mean, at least like this week, this is one of those weeks where we have nailed every single week. So if you're sitting there trading off it, yay, this was one of the weeks that, like, hey, if you have bad week next week, this thing's going to make up for that. But also, you shouldn't have that bad week next week if you do have proper trade and risk management in place. You just shouldn't, okay? If you do have stops in place, then like overall, if you're taking the same trade setups that come along, okay, you should over time. And like, here's the thing: if it's not working out, then you're doing something wrong. All right, the trade setups, the trade ideas that you're going at, they're wrong. Okay, because if you do have a stop, the same exact stop always in place, and you just consistently over time take the same exact trades. We're doing them here on the indices right here. That's what I speak of. Obviously, the other plays, they're not going to keep coming back. Oh, no, they're always going to be different. But here on the indices, that's why I cover these here on the channel. This is why I'm obsessed with covering the indices and charting the indices. Guys, these things are consistent. They always come. So, like, you know, they come full circle. These cycles continuously occur. So why not get really good at trading something that is very, very, very consistent? Okay, nothing else on the market is consistent besides this in the bond market, in my personal opinion. Here you go. That is what we got here on the channel. All right, speaking of the bond market, all right, this is going on. All right, just like literally just know, guys, the higher these yields are, all right, and this is this isn't the yield, all right, but this is just one component of the bond market. Okay, we can come over here to the what is it, O2. Okay, look at it this way. Okay, the higher this thing goes, all right, the less you know, attractive equities are. Okay, if Morgan Stanley came out the other day, all right, I think this was about a week ago, saying the bull case is 5.5% up on the S&P 500, whereas the bear case for 2023 is down like 20%. So right off the bat, if you're getting a yield on, so this is just that, okay, but you can come over here to the US, it'd be O1, yeah, so it'd be O1, all right, and look at this, 4.8%, guys. Like, this is what I'm getting at. You can get this. Why are you ever going to risk in the stock market? You're getting the same exact return, all right, and you can actually, I think there's the 6-month T-bills, all right, and those are something, I don't know the ticker for, I'm going to be straight up with you guys, all right, off the top of my head, and I don't want to sit here wasting your time here in the video. Let's see if can we find something. We're not gonna find it. We're not gonna find it. All right, I'll bring it to you guys in the weekly update. I will I'll make a bonds watch list, and like I already do have a I got a futures watch list right here, but I will make a bonds one so we could just continuously watch them on the channel, so we always know what the big boys are doing, because the big boys, guys, they're in control of this market. Like, straight up, they are in control of the small boys, which is the stock market, the equity market that we trade. Okay, so, like, I'm just saying, all right, if they're doing something, it is only a matter of time until it starts getting priced into over here, all right? But just realize this is how it works, all right? Exactly how I just said. Okay, if those yields are higher, which pretty sure the yields go up when you sell, like, you know, supply and demand, simple supply and demand, the yields will go up unless people are holding them, which means people are piling to equities. But the more those go up, the less desirable equities become, because there's a risk, whereas there's over there's no risk. So that's all I'm getting at, all right? Eventually, you're going to see that turning point when the big boys are going to, they're going to swap, all right? They're going to go from here to over there. If you go risk on here, it is very likely that, like, pretty quick, it's going to turn into risk off, all right? Now, obviously, we're going to be covering that here on the channel. So, I mean, yes, it's going to happen quick, but hey, you're going to be knowing about it. All right, I can't say I'm going to get everything out to you on the spot. I can't. That's literally the purpose of that, the thing I've been talking about, all right? Yeah, I'll do my dang best, guys. Dang best to keep you guys updated here on the channel each and every day before the market close. And then also, when market is closed, I got the written updates. And those paths have been so freaking accurate, guys. So accurate. All right, guys. So let's move on. Now that we've had enough chit-chat right there, right? Let's try and make this, we'll try and close out with an under 20-minute video here. First in a while, let's get it, all right? So SPX is back testing its trend line up here that it broke down from. This is actually the rising wedge that I was saying. I wouldn't be surprised if this is just a this is a false breakdown from this rising wedge. We're going to get back in here. I don't know if you're going to push up here to the upper bound of it. I think Probably not, but that would align with SPY coming up, and that trend line is wrong here on the daily time frame. It should correct itself if I do this a few times. Oh, look at that, guys. It corrected itself. All right, so that should align with SPY coming up here and filling this 421.22 gap, which should also align with that. Let's actually do this on the hourly time frame. I like my trend lines to be done on the hourly time frame just so I can get all those touch points in there. Look at that. Got that bounce point there, bounce point. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let's fix that up right there. Let's get you all the way down there. Come over here. All right, and right there. All right. I also like using the 4 hour just because the 1 hour is all congested, and you know, there's just a lot. There's a lot right here. A lot going on. All right. But yeah, all right. Like if we do get that on SPX, if you come up and hit that upper trend line there, upper bound of the rising wedge, the bearish rising wedge, that's going to align with SPY coming right up into this gap fill. And if you come up to this gap fill, as you're back testing the trend line you just broke down from after like literally one whole month of rally, the Friday, all the way up until you literally stalled out on yeah, it was just about a month, guys. It was like literally a few days less than a month. Yeah, if that happens, I'm just gonna say right there, guys, this is an objective short in my personal opinion. All right. That is exactly what I would be looking for. Maybe we do get something like that. I don't know. All right. Obviously, we're gonna go as we go. Okay. We will keep you updated as we go. I don't want to make any projections too far out because, you know, that's when I open myself up to being wrong. And, you know, like if like, I mean, guys, I know how to be right is what I'm getting at. Okay. And I know like what things I have like a probability of getting wrong. All right. So I'm just not going to talk about those things. All right. There's no reason to. All right. Plus, getting people's hyped up on hopium, that is what I've done in the past. Well, I didn't do it purposely. I guess I was doing it to myself as well. But I was doing it to my past off of projections that I will call midterm projections, all right? When in reality, I could have just completely avoided the whole mess, the whole backlash, the whole everything by, you know, just like, you know, just leaving my personal like I'll leave the opinion in there, but I'm not gonna cook it into my analysis. And that's what I hope you guys see that I'm doing here. All right, I hope you guys have noticed a change here on the channel. All right, over the past like we'll say 1 to 2 months. All right, hopefully it's shown. All right, I want to say something very funny. I think it's over on QQ. I saw it. No, it's not on QQ. Where was it? Oh, I know it. Oh, no, it was here on SPY, right, guys? So I remember seeing all the bulls came out on Twitter and stuff, calling for this golden cross, this bullish golden cross down here with the 250. Guys, it was the top. It was the top, guys. That's not okay. That's the top. This is what I'm getting at, all right? Some of these things that people be like getting super excited at, they're kind of just throwing them because it matches their case. And when we were up here, yeah, there were like, I'm not going to really say there were actually things to be bullish about. You guys can go back and see how I was talking, all right? I remember I was not, I was looking for a pullback. I was saying like, yeah, you could, with what Jerome just did, just open up the possibility of coming up to fill in this gap, and maybe you come up and test 430, the August high, but with all likelihood, we were going to end up starting that. And then once we broke our uptrend, which was, where was it? Where did we first do that? I think it was here, 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 here. So that's when you had your first lower high, and then you had your lower low. That's when it was on. That's when this move was completely open in my mind. And I know if you guys were around here back then, which most of you were around here back then, you guys know that's exactly how we were going about things back there. All right, but stepping back over the daily time frame, I want to point out that SPY is literally going down to the 200 MA intraday, just like we had called out, and then closed above the 200 DMA, just like we called out, because that would have triggered sell algos. And with the data that has recently came out, the inflation data from the month of January, all 4 or 5 measures of inflation coming in hot, that's not okay, guys. That's like literally, people have a reason to be bearish, all right? So if you give them a technical, like the big boy reason to be bearish, there you go. You see all this buying that sparked out of here, all right? That's a mistake. Like, guys, we make mistakes. Everyone's human. We all make mistakes, all right? We got to use these mistakes in the next one, all right? We got to, you know, remember the pain, because then, you know, we will make decisions that limit that pain or completely take it away the next time, all right? And right here, we clearly see the 200 MA caused the reaction last time. You were able to flip that once you got your close above it. You guys, you get your close below it. Now you definitely have data that makes me pretty sure there are sell algos on QQQ and SPY, SPX, and NQ that will probably take you down a significant amount right away. All right. And that would end up doing something like that. All right. I don't think that's going to happen. I think with all likelihood, we do end up having that bounce, and then a catalyst provides the, the quick swing down. I think that's FOMC coming up. I think CPI is going to be probably another negative catalyst, but who says we don't have, we have a rally into CPI, which I think we have. Yeah, we have it right here. Rally into CPI, drop a little on CPI, or maybe it's like a tame report and we're just like, kind of drop a little, but then it's because it's tame, we flip this support over here that we're coming back and retaking. I don't know, the zone. Then maybe we run into FOMC, and then I think that's where, hey, I think like the data literally suggests that, hey, the Fed has to, they have to put on their big boy pants. All right. On top of that, the bond market that controls the Fed is also saying the Fed is going to put on their big boy pants. The Fed chases the federal terminal funds rate chases the 2-year. The 2-year has been exploding. All right. So that is probably something that's going to take the market down. That's just my personal opinion. We also are still up here on the weekly time frame. Now, that's something to talk about. You are getting, I mean, we mentioned it at the beginning of the video. I know we did. Begin this weekly cross up, and you have increasing buy volume here from, well, it's buy volume. It's from the buyers, all right? The buyers are outweighing the sellers here. You also have that over here. You don't have increasing buy volume now. But SPX is SPY, the big boys, all right? Well, SPX is a big boy. That's what we got going on. Then you have VIX over here with the bearish engulfing candlestick. In the last 3 times, you've had another big fat red week after that on VIX, all right? So yeah, I mean, we got things on the weekly and daily time frame suggesting buyers are stepping in. They're likely to take us for a ride. All right, now you come over here to the 4-hour time frame, and hang on. I mean, all right, there we go. Sorry, frustrating. Not really frustrating. I'm frustrating. All right, you have your stochastic heading straight up. I think that's different on SPY. Yeah, your SPY's stochastic is starting to hinge. So we actually already hit one of my targets. That is pretty sexy. All right, we literally already, yeah. So guys, again, shout out to the Patreon. I didn't play SPY specifically, but yes, there were SPY targets. All right, and they have been hit, just like there were QQQ targets that are one got hit already, and then one is well, one came 1 cent of getting hit, and then one is what's it called, or no, it didn't come 1 cent again hit. It definitely did get hit over the past few days, and now we're seeing the other one likely get hit over the next few days. We're gonna have to see. All right, I will keep you guys updated here, just like I will keep them updated on the spot over there. All right, and yeah, guys, if you guys are in there, hey, feel free to share the love in the comment section to let people know, hey, they're working out. All right, the $40, it's chump change compared to what is being made, so it's okay. All right, it is okay. But yeah, over here, you're getting this hammer candlestick here to literally close out the week. Now, I know you're going to have another 4-hour candlestick so you're going to have another, maybe 2 going into the end of the day, I think. But yeah, you're clear as day seeing buyers take you up into, I don't know if you reach this point of resistance up here, which would be your golden, no, not your golden pocket. I think that I have that over on QQQ. We could put that on SPY though. Let's actually put that on SPY right now and see where our golden pocket would be. I know I had it up there in a previous video. I just took it down. You come over here, you come over here. All right, and this is gonna be a rough golden pocket. All right, it's not exact, but it's pretty spot on there. It would be the 0.78 to the 0.618. Oh, and look at that, it's right above the gap fill. All right, so just like QQQ, all right, so literally the same exact thing as QQ, just like QQQ, the gap fill, all right, the gap fill is right above the whatever it's called. It's right okay, so QQ's gap is right above the 0.78 Fibonacci, so right above the golden pocket, and the SPY's gap fill is right underneath the golden pocket. I'm gonna say either one of these can be hit. All right, I don't know if QQQ is gonna stall out. All right, before then, maybe it stalls out over right here at this. I mean, literally right here at the start of it. And just to clarify, all right, just to make sure that is what we got here on the chart. No, we're bugging. We do not have that on the chart. I'm really glad I decided to take that out, okay? Because it's actually this. So, okay, so I was right. I was going to say QQQ's gap, I was pretty sure was right underneath the golden pocket. So that is the case over here for SPY. So I'm going to say right now, these two gaps are probably going to act as the magnets that maybe spark a temporary reversal. All right, but they probably do act as magnets and get price to come into them next week. All right, and then maybe we do get a indecision candlestick, all right, that, you know, is dancing up under here. All right, I don't know. Okay. But these are just my thoughts, guys. Just know, like, I'm not always going to be spot on, but I mean, a lot of the stuff could be spot on. Right now, we do have the 4-hour oscillators on QQ and SPY in overbought territory. The stochastic and CCI. RSI, I'll explain in later, maybe in the weekly update. I'll explain how I use these oscillators, just so people understand a little better. All right. Although, if you do just follow along, you 100% guaranteed you will definitely know exactly how I chart, because that's literally what I do here in the videos. I chart. All right. It's not me preparing. Like, obviously, I'm watching charts throughout the day and I have stuff I want to talk about because I saw it. All right. But at the end of the day, if you want to see exactly how someone goes about charting, that's what these videos are. All right. Like, yeah, we're live charting here. I know it's not live, but I do these all in one take. And there you go. All right. It's just, yeah, no edits. I just chill with it. All right. Maybe eventually we'll have lives, but for now, no, we got to grow the channel, and lives, I don't think are going to do that. Okay. Maybe lives and the daily updates, but we're going to have to figure out how to get that into there. Yeah, that will come in the future. All right. But over here on the 1-hour time frame, QQQ and SPY both have bearish divergences on the 1-hour CCI, and the RSI is just peeking in on both of them up into 70. All right. So this is where I'm going to be looking for sellers to step back in. All right. Maybe it's going to happen right here at the S&P 500's 200 MA, or well, that's SPY's 200 MA. Over here, though, on SPX, you're literally backtesting this trend line. All right. So maybe we do end up getting sellers stepping in here. Get a rejection here, maybe back here, flip that bad boy, I don't know. All right, and by the way, guys, these 50 and the 200. So on Webull, guys, I always have the I have the 20, the 50, the 100, and the 200 always up on my charts. All right. Here I just have limited indicators. So, but I found out the volume is not considered an indicator. It's not taking up one of my 5 indicator spots. So we now can use 2 moving averages, all right? And I like moving averages, all right? They are a portion of the TA we cover here on the channel. I'm not going to say a big portion of it, but they're useful, guys. They cause reactions, and reactions are, at the end of the day, those are the things that if you know where they are, you're going to be safe. You're going to be good. All right. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to end up seeing a pullback here. I don't know if it does end up doing that. All right. But like, you clearly see, this is a thing that does cause reactions, the 50 MA here on the hourly time frame of SPX. All right. But I don't know what's going to happen. All right. I have no idea. And another thing we're going to have to see is, like, hey, do we push up here and do we flip the 200 MA? Because if we do end up flipping the 200 MA, then I'm going to have to say, like, hey, this is a solid shot. We do end up, you know, we end up going higher. That's typically what happens. Okay. Look at that. You end up bouncing off and you flipped it. All right. And then you went back. All right, just like over here, you flipped it, and then you continue higher, right? So this is something that we're going to have to keep in mind. Okay, is what I'm getting at. But coming over here to the 4-hour time frame, you still have room to move up, but again, you just have this spot right here that I would be expecting sellers to be like just present. All right, I don't think they're going to push you all the way back down here. All right, but I do think they're going to be present. I think you get a pullback on the indices, but I'm also going to say, I don't know if that pullback comes just yet. Okay, I'm going to say that right now. You are getting rejection right here off your 200 on the hourly. You're on QQQ, all right? But just know, this is what I'm kind of, this is like the picture I got in my mind right now, okay? So you have the 4-hour CCI right here, all right? Maybe we do end up pushing up a little more, okay? Maybe we end up pushing up into, right over here around 300 on QQQ, over here on SPY, that would align with the 404, which was one of my targets, all right? So that would end up being hit, all right? So what was I saying? Okay, all right. So 4-hour CCIs are up here, but they're not high. They're not super high right now. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them go a little higher right now. So you would see a decent push right there. You only need $2 more, guys. We are pretty dang close. All right. I didn't know this would be this like impulsive here, but this is what I was saying. This is exactly what I was saying I was expecting when we were down here. All right. Well, when we were over here, this is when I started saying like, hey, all right, like we're looking for that the rally to commence, and it's going to be likely a decent sized rally. All right. So there's that, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see this take place. All right. You form this bearish divergence, and to form the bearish divergence, what's going to happen is you're going to see, hang on, bear with me. What's going to happen on the hourly time frame is you're going to see this probably make another bearish divergence right there. So now you have like a triple. All right. And I can see this. This is honestly, this is some price action I see maybe is possible today. All right. And then you end up coming back down and you see these bearish divergences play out here. All right. And that produces the 4-hour CCI dipping down there. Maybe it bounces off of the sell momentum line there, the momentum sell line. All right. And then that's when your 1-hour oscillators, your 1-hour CCI and stochastic is going to cycle back up. And that's when you're probably going to do this. So this is like legit. This is the path that I see like, hey, price can actually take. This is something that I would say is more likely than not. All right. But I'm also just going to say, even if it's not this exact path, like, yeah, guys, I am still seeing we should be bouncing. All right. We're going to go over to DIA in a sec. All right. I'm sorry we didn't get that 20-minute video in. It's a little longer. It's 26. Maybe we could finish under 30 minutes here. We come over here to DIA on the hourly, or not hourly, the daily time frame. Guys, we had a triple bullish divergence popping up, and now we have the weekly stochastic all the way down in oversold territory. It is just about to cross up. I don't know if we're going to get enough buying pressure to make this cross this week, but we're just about doing so. And then you come over here to QQQ and SPY, and QQ is literally crossing on its weekly stochastic here. It's crossing up, and then SPY actually, as of right now, is doing the same thing. So we're going to have to see how these close out. You got a hammer candlestick, guys. I'm just saying right here, these are when you saw these kinds of candlesticks. All right. I guess we could kind of call that one. Well, it's not. It's definitely not hammer, but it represents the same thing. Buyers are taking you up all week. All right, sellers try pushing down, then buyers started taking you up all week. That's what these represent to me. All right, and they typically, like, you did have this one right here, but there was a red one. Like, you know, I think it makes perfect sense for this one to end up resolving in a you know, upward resolution here. All right. One more thing. I guess we could go over Apple. Okay. Actually, also DXY, guys. I told you guys, I'm expecting this thing to help the markets rally. All right. Because if DXY does fall, equities just have that much less selling pressure on them. Come over here to Apple, guys. Apple reclaimed its 200 DMA. This is the largest component of SPX and or SPY and QQ. And I told you guys, when this thing bounces, the markets are going to start bouncing. That's just destined to happen. It's just how things work. All right. But right now you do have your CCI hinged up going through the buy line, suggesting you do have some buying coming in. The last time that happened, you had a massive rip. I'm not saying that happens. I personally don't think that's going to be the case. All right. But I think you probably get a decent rip. Maybe you come up here to this congestion spot. All right. And maybe you stall up that out at the top here. I don't know if you're going to end up breaking out. All right. This is something we're just going to have to judge when it comes. All right. And that will be next week. All right. Stochastic is crossing up. So that is another thing. We come over here to the weekly time frame. And again, you have your stochastic here. It's another weekly stochastic crossing up. Now, again, this is just something showing you. Just know that, hey, the selling is coming. It's around the corner. All right. It's not over. All right. You're not going to have this massive bull rip. While you have like the main component doing this, we have the weekly oscillator still up here. No, guys, you're going like with on top of like what I'm showing you guys right here, you have the bond market suggesting you are going to be going back down to lows. In my personal opinion, that is what I've been showing you guys. That's what that's telling me. All right. You just have a lot of factors suggesting this isn't going to last up here. All right. And it's only a matter of time until the Fed comes around on the 22nd. It's a very high likelihood that he does not pump the markets and do exactly what he did last time that made the bond market start calling BS. Like, that's literally what happened. He took the victory lap, and the bond market started saying, nope, Jerome, you know what? You were lazy. Now you're going to have to chase us. That's what happened. All right. That's what I think is probably going to be taking place on the 22nd. That is in 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks from now. So yeah, all right, guys. But up until then, yeah, we could either go sideways, depending what CPI is doing, all right, or we could explode more with CPI and end up doing that and forming a bullish diverge or bearish divergence over here on the daily time frame. All right, before end up, seeing that cool off. Well, cool off, by cool off, I mean, we're probably going to see what I've been talking about. All right, eventually we are going to see that move that starts coming down to lows. Before we take out lows, though, we're going to come down to this consolidation here. Of course, now we formed another congestion period here, consolidation, congestion period, whatever you want to call it. Period, level, whatever you want to range. All right, so we have this one, we have this one. All right, we're probably going to see reactions now come out of both of these. All right, so that is what these do on the charts. All right, guys, so actually, look at this. You had this congestion range right here literally spark your reversal here. All right, guys, so I guess that is pretty much it. I do want to point out Bitcoin started falling here. And it does like show this on the weekly time frame, but if indices are going to be rallying, this thing is probably going to hold up, all right? But whenever this thing does start to start to sell off pretty massively, that is when I think we're probably going to see the indices start doing the same, or this thing's going to follow the indices. It's one or the other, all right? But yeah, guys, that is what I got for you guys today. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.